B, practice B, was the even numbers, right? 2, 4, 6. Or is it the odd numbers? Oh no. Hang on a second. I think it's the odd number. So number 1, I hope it's the odd numbers. 1/5 plus 2/5. Right? When the denominators are the same, we add the numerators. Number 3, 7/12 minus 5/12. Right? 7 minus 5 is 2. Number 5, 7/12 minus 11/12. It's okay. So that's a 12 at the bottom. Then 7 minus 11. Let me put this over here. Right? Let's focus on that. It's a positive minus a positive, so it really is a positive minus a negative, right? And then 7 plus negative 11. Are they friends? No. The negatives are going to win, so we get negative 4. So that's negative 4 over 12. 7, 11 over 15 plus 7 over 15. And we'll talk about simplifying tomorrow. So 11 plus 7 is 18. And 15 stays the same. If you went ahead and simplified, we can simplify to that 1 and 3 over 15. Or that becomes 1 and 1/5. So that's your final answer. So, okay, if you got up to here, that's fine. What did I just do? Number 10? No, number 7. Number 9, 8 over 21 plus 5 over 21. 8 plus 5 is 13 over 21. Number 11 is 3 over, okay, so number 11. Number 11 is 3/8 plus a half. So we got to change them, right, to new equivalent fractions. Sorry, you have to change it so they have the same denominator. So 3 over 8. So let's focus on the 8 and the 2. Well, if you do the multiples of 8, you get 8, 16, 24, 32, etc. And 2, you got 2, 4, 6, 8. Oops, we can stop here, right? Because here is our common denominator. We're going to change these two fractions. So it's going to be 8, and here it's going to be 8. Here it's already 8, so we don't have to worry about anything. So just write it down. Here it's a 2, so how did a 2 become a 4? 2 times what is 8? 2 times what is 8? It's 2 times 4 is 8. So on the top, I have to multiply by 4. 1 times 4 is 4. Now we can add, right? 3/8 plus 4/8 is 7/8. The other way of doing it, remember, is again, you can do it this way too. So here we have 3/8, 16, 24, 32, 3, 6, 9, 12. The bottom 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have anything that's the same, and here it is. It's this one and this one, right? Which we already got here. It's the same, right? Look at this. So either you do it this way or you do it this way. It doesn't really matter. This one obviously is the shorter way of doing it, right? What number are we? 13, 11 over 12, 5 over 6. So again, we have to find a common denominator. So 12 and 6. So 6, we go 6, 12, 18, 24, 12. We can go 12, 24. We can even stop. There's two numbers that are the same. There's this one, the 12, or the 24. Does it matter which one you use? If you want to use the 24, that's okay. But usually you want to use the small number. So yeah, let's just use 12. So it's 12. And the 6 here, it can be 12. So 11 over 12 stays the same. But this one, we have to make a change. So how did the 6 times what is 12 times 2? So on the top here, it has to be times 2. And 5 times 2 is 10. 11 plus 10 is 21 over 12. Oops. And if you change that to an improper fraction, you get 1 9 over 12. And if you simplify that again, it becomes 1 3 over 4. So that's one way. The other way, again, for those of you who like the other method, maybe you can do this until you get a little bit more comfortable. So 12, 24, plus 12 times 3 is 36. 11 times 1 is 11. 11 times 2, 22. 11 times 3, 33. Let's do the bottom one. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. Which one can we use? We can use this guy, right? Oops. We can use this guy and this guy. All right, so we get 11 over 12 plus 10 over 12. And look at the same answer, right? 11 of 21 over 12. We get the same answer. Uh-oh. I forgot what number that was. 11, 12, and 5, 6. Okay, so 15. 9 over 10 plus 5 over 6. So let's go to the 10s and 6s. 6 times 8 was 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, 6 times 5, 6 times 6. Let's stop there. 10 times 1, 10. 10 times 2, 20. Times 3, 30. Times 4, oops, we already found it. It's right here. 30. So we're going to change those both, and the new denominator is going to be 30. And that's going to be 30. So now we ask 10 times what is 30? Times 3. 9 times what is 30? Times 3, right? The same, always the same. So 9 times 3 is 27. How about the 6? 6 times what? 6 times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. So it's times 5. So on the top is times 5. That gives us 25. We're going to add decimal. The decimal denominator stays the same. 27 plus 25 is 52. If you simplify that, you can get 122 over 30, or you can get 111 over 15. Don't worry, if you got up to here, that's okay. Tomorrow we'll work on simplifying. Okay? And I'll do this again. 9 over 10, 5 over 6, right? We're going to change 10 times 2 is 20, times 3 is 30, times 4 is 40. 9 times 1, 9 times 2, 9 times 3, 9 times 4, 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, 6 times 5, 5 times 1, 5 times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. Do you see anything? Yeah, I think it's this one, right? 25 over 30 and 27 over 30. So isn't that the same? So you get it both same way. 17, 5 over 6, plus 11 over 15. So you might need a calculator, maybe. Okay, so maybe you need a calculator. I don't think so. 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, 6 times 5. Let's stop there. 15. 15 times 1, 15 times 2 is 30. 15 times 3 is 45. But we can stop, right? Here's the same multiple. So we're going to change that to 30. 6 times what is 30? Times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's times 5. So on the top, times 5. 5 times 5, 25. What about the 15? 15 times what is 30? 15 times 1, times 2. So here, times 2. And this, times 2. So 11 times 2 is 22. We can add now, and we get 47 over 30, or 117 over 30. And again, we'll talk about that tomorrow. So right now, this is your answer, or if you simplify. 19. The school track 7/8 of a mile. Sherry ran 2/3 of a mile. How much farther does she have to go to get all the way around the track? So this one is 7/8 minus 2/3. So there's a track at the school. There's a track, and she's running, right? She's running. And the distance, this distance is 7/8 of a mile. Okay. Now Sherry, what's her name? Sherry ran 2/3, so she already ran. So she started over here. Okay, she started over here and she ran all the way up to here. So how much more does she have to run? How much más? ¿Cuánto más tiene que ella correr? Que es lo que sobre. So this red is the part that she has to run. So the one full circle is 7/8. That's one full circle. So she ran 2/3, and this part's 2/3. She ran. It's not to scale. Okay, so obviously 2/3, a lot more than that. So she ran 2/3. How much more does she have to run? Well, anyways, let's find the denominator. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Let me stop there. 8 times 1 times 2, 16, times 3 is 24, times 4, 32. Nothing yet. Let me go 3, 6, 15, 18, 21, 24. Oh, finally, we found something here. So our new denominator is going to be 24. Let's do 8 times what is 24? 8 times 1 times 2 times 3. So 8 times 3. So here it's 7 times 3, which is 21. 3 times what's 24? Times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. So on top, what's 2 times 8? 16. 21 minus 16, 5 over 24. I think that's it. Now we're going to practice C, which is just the even numbers. I think I did this backwards. I hope not. So the even numbers, number 2, 7 over 18, plus 11 over 18. It's 18 over 18. And that can be just 1. 4, 2 over 5, plus 7 over 15. So, oops. 2 over 5, plus 7 over 15. So we can do 5 and the 15. We can use a calculator here, you know, if you want. 5 times 1 times 2 times 3, oops, times 4. And then 15 times 1 is 15, times 2 is 30. Do we have to continue? No, here, look is our number, 15. So let's change that to 15. I'm going to change that to 15. Well, here's already 15, right? So that one is done. This one, the 5 is the problem. So 5 times 1 times 2 times 3 is times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. And here's times 3 again. So we get 6. Let's add 6 plus 7, 23 over 15. Now where's that? 2/5. Okay, so now number 6. Number 6, 3 over 70. Oops. 7 over 30 minus 9 over 10. Let's do the 30s times table, and let's do the 10s times table. 10, 20, 30. We can stop here because 30 times 1 is 30, right? So we can stop right there. We're going to change this to 30. We're going to change the 10, it becomes a 30. So 30 is already 30, so I'm going to put a 7 over here. There's no change. There's no need to change 7 over 30 to another equivalent fraction when it's already 7/30. 9 over 10, well, that one is going to change. So 9 over 10 times 3, right? Because 10 times 1 times 2 times 3. And then top is going to be times 3, which is 27. Subtract. It's going to be 30, but let's do the top part. It's 7 minus 27. So we get 7 plus negative 27. And 7 plus negative 27, are they friends? No. So who's going to win? The negatives. And then we do 27 minus 7, it becomes negative 20. So the answer is negative 20 over 30. Number 8. Let me write the number down. 7 over 25 plus 4 over 5. 25 plus 4 over 5. So we're going to do 25 and the 5. 5 times 1, 5 times 2, 5 times 3, 5 times 4, 5 times 5, 5 times 6. Let's do the top. 25 times 1, 25 times 2. Oh, there's a 25 here. I'm going to change. So it's going to be over 50, denominator, plus, oops, over 50, denominator. So 25. Oops, sorry. Why am I doing 50? I'm sorry, guys. It's 25. I don't know why I did. This is 25. So 25 times 1, right? So 25 times. So this one actually we don't change, right? Because it's already 25. How about the 5 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5? So I'm going to be 5 times 5 is 25. So on top is 4 times 5, right? Always the same. 4 times 5 is 20. We can now add 7 plus 20 is 27 over 25. Number 10. 1 over 8 minus 19 over 40. Now we have to find the denominator, right? So let's do 8 and do 40. So let's do 40 first. 40 times 1 is 40. 40 times 2 is 80. 40 times 3 is 20. 120. Well, hopefully we don't have to go that far. So let's do 8 times table. 8 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. Oops, there it is. 40. I'm going to put 40 over here and 40 over here. Well, here's already 40, so that's okay. Yeah, no changes. But what about the 8? 8 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. 8 times 5. And then times 5 here. 1 times 5 is 5. So let's subtract. 40 stays, right? On the top is 5 minus 19. We can change that to 5 plus negative 19. Who's going to win? The negatives. Okay, good. So what's 19 minus 5? 19 minus 5 is 14. So we get negative 14. And that's our answer. 12, 5 over 6 minus 5 over 9. And hang on, guys. Six, 12, 18, 24, 30, 9, 9, 18. Oops, we can stop right there. There's our magic number. So that's our denominator, 18. So I put 18 over here. 18 over here. 6 times 1 times 2 times 3. So 6 times 3 is 18. So on top I do the same. 5 times 3 is 15. So I'm going to put 15 over 18. 9, it's 9 times 1 times 2. 9 times 2 is 18. So here, 5 times 2, which is 10. So 15 minus 10 is, that's easy, right? 5 and 18 is just 18. So those of you, if you want to change that, you can change that. I don't think it's necessary. So that becomes 15 plus negative 10. Positive plus a negative. So the positives are going to win. Why? Because 15 minus 10 is just 5. And that's our answer. $14. Now 14 is a little bit different. We have 3 fractions. So the first thing we're going to do is find the denominator for all 3. This one, for this one, and for this one. So let's do the bigger number first. 12 times 2 is 24, times 3 is 36. Let's stop right there. 6 times 1, 6. 6 times 2, 12. Uh-oh, I already saw 12. 6 times 3 is 18. I'll stop there. 3. 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4. So notice that now we have a 12, a 12, and a 12. So they all have the same number. So I'm going to use 12. So first one is 11 over 12. It's already a 12, so we don't have to do anything. The second one, 6 times what's 12? So 6 times 2 is 12. So on the top is times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 3. 3 times what? 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4 is 12. So on top is times 4. And 2 times 4 is 8. So now we can, what do you call subtract them? So it's going to be over 12. So let's over here, let me bring that. 11 minus 10 minus 8, right? So let's figure that one at a time. What's 11 minus 10? 11 minus 10 is just 1, yeah? And then we have to do 1 minus 8. So what's 1 minus 8? We can change that to an addition. 1 plus negative 8. Who's going to win? Negatives. Why? What's 8 minus 1? 7, right? So negative 7. Negative 7 over 12 minus 1 over 5 plus 3/4. Really? Oh boy. So we're going to find the LCM. We're going to find a common multiple. So this one, let's try the 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Let's see if that's enough. 5, 10, 15, 20. Uh-oh, I see a 20. That's good. 25, 30. I'm going to stop there. 12. 12 times 1 times 2 is 24. Times 3 is 36. Not good because it has to be the same. All three have to be the same. Times 4 is 48. Times 5 is 60. Let me continue the 5s. 5 times 6 times 7 times 8 times 9 times 10 times 11 times 12. Ooh, now there's a 60 there. So let's, how about the 4s? 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, finally 60. Oh my God, that was a lot. So they finally have something that's the same, 60. So it's going to be, change that to 60. I'm going to change that to 60. I'm going to change that to 60. 12. 12 times what is 60? Times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. So it's times 5. So we multiply the top times 5. 7 times 5, 35. 5. 5 times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7, times 8, times 9, times 10, times 11, times 12. So it's times 12. 5 times 12 is 60. So on top is times 12. 1 times 12, 12. 4 is 1 times 1 times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 4 times 15. So I have to multiply the top times 15. 3 times 15, 45. So now we have to find the answer. So it's going to be something over 60. I don't know yet if it's negative or positive. So let's copy that. So we have negative 35, right? Now copy this part here. Negative 35 minus 12 plus 45. Let's do these two first. Negative 35, we're going to change that to addition plus negative 12. So negative plus a negative, son amigos, they're friends. So my answer is going to be negative 35 plus 12, 7, 47. So now we have negative 47. And then we do plus, let me change colors here, plus 45. Who's going to win, the negatives or the positive? The negatives. Why? How many more do they have? They have 2 more. And negative 2 is what you're going to write. We can simplify that. Like I said, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But for that, that's your answer. If you got this far, that's okay. You have one more, and then we'll stop. And I hope I did the correct ones. Okay, so you might need a calculator for this. You might not. So 35 times 1 is 35. 35 times 2 is 70. 35 times 3, 105. Let's stop there. 7 times 1, 7 times 2, 7 times 3, 7 times 4, 7 times 5. Oh, there's a 35 there. Is that going to work? Let's stop. 20. 20 times 1, 20 times 2. Uh-oh. That's not going to work. So let's go more. 20 times 3. No. 20 times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7. How about 7? 7, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, 77, 84, 91, 98, 105, 112, 119, 126, oh boy, 133, 140, look, they're the same, 105, 35, 35 times 1 is 35, 30 times 2 is 70, 35 times 3 is 105, 35 times 4, 140. So finally they have something the same, 140. I'm going to change everything to 140. Twenty times what is 140? 20 times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7. So it's times 7. I'm going to multiply 13 times 7. 13 times 7 is 91. 7. Ooh, 7 times 1, times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 7 times 20 is 140. So here, times 20. 2 times 20, 40. 35 times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4. So it's 35 times 4. So I'm taught I'm going to multiply by 4. What's 11 times 4? 44. Now we can add. So my answer is going to be something 140. Positive, negative, I don't know. So let's do this. So it's 91 minus 40 plus 44. Let's do these two first. 91 minus 40 is 51, right? So if you think about it, 91 plus negative 40. Who's going to win? The positives. How? Why? Because they have 51 more. And then we do plus 44, so that's easy. 51 plus 44 gives us 95. I'm going to put 95. If we can simplify, divide that by 5, we get 19. Divide that by 5, we get 28. Okay, so if you got up to here, you're good. If you went one more step, even better.